to begin, guys. I mean, these are such nuanced roles, aren't they? Dressed up in a sort of big blockbuster surrounding, but there's a lot for you guys to get your teeth stuck into with these characters.
There is, and it's really great. I think that there is a lot. What I really liked about Connell when I first was reading the script, and to a degree it's with Bora as well, is it's this conversation about leadership and what is strong leadership, what is good leadership, and how much that kind of matches with what you do and the kind of, they're both from this sort of warrior class, and Connell takes this into a slightly different place, a slightly more philosophical place, and trying to find a way of, getting good results for everybody, and these kind of ideas of self-sacrifice and so on. And I think that is a very powerful thing to talk about. I think always, but very important now, of what is the qualities of leadership that people and Faye look for.
Yeah. Because obviously this film, like so many Disney films, tackles such kind of profound, very pertinent themes. Do you think sometimes they work best in films of this nature? Do you think sometimes we almost need to step out of reality to best understand it? Because you look at sort of sci-fi and fantasy movies, sometimes they tell us more about the world than any drama could.
Yeah, I think there is a tendency as artists to kind of, if we're doing something that's meaningful, to make it really deep and dark, and especially in European cinema, and I love so much of that cinema. The thing is that it can repel people that aren't as sort of geeky about it as me. Also, it doesn't have such a wide scope. People say this movie has got an age range from 8 to 80. And with the kind of moral conversations that we're having in this, everyone within those age brackets should be having those conversations. And movies like this, we grew up on these kind of movies, and to have the kind of old-fashioned stereotypes of characters, princesses that need to be saved by men, and only pretty much only straight white men in the lead roles as the heroes. It's not the reality that most of us have grown up in. So for us to reimagine these stereotypes, and especially within the realm of Disney, who have been the kind of original storytellers of our time, how wonderful is it that we have such a diverse and meaningful script and aesthetic.
Because I walked past there's obviously the environmental protests in Trafalgar Square, and you'll be like Greta Thunberg on the TV, who's just talking so much sense. These films, we need to treat kids like adults, don't we, in these films? Do you think it's really important that when we make films aimed at kind of younger crowd, we don't patronise them in any way?
Totally, yeah. Absolutely, with the environment as well. That's, one of the things about this film is about a respect for the environment and this relationship to the environment, and how the environment can be weaponized and used to disturb or create disasters for other communities and outside areas. So, just layering in these ideas that we are thinking about, that we are talking about as adults, but putting it in the stories that young people can really relate to and engage with, and start to be able to have these kind of conversations and create these reference points that are strong analogies for where things are in our world now, I think is really vital, very important.
And the time is now, we need to be having those conversations, and we need to be frank about it. Yeah, we need to be sensitive, and protect a healthy amount of young people's innocence and such. But I think kids respond well to being told things directly and clearly, and we're so shaped in our early years, and we kind of don't realize until we start analyzing ourselves. Me now at 36, I'm really going inwards and looking at the constructs of which my belief structures have been based on, and I realize that they are kind of formed by people with different priorities to me, and often different moral structures, and I just, assume that they're right because I'm taught them. So, if we're gonna teach young people lessons, let's teach them, the positive lessons, and I think that's where this movie is pretty powerful.
It's a very, very quick thing. I just spoke to Harris, and he said they gave him a dagger as a bit of memorabilia from this movie.
He got a dagger?
I just wondered if you got to take anything away.
He gave him a dagger?
He gave him a dagger.
You got a dagger?
You get a dagger.
I didn't get a dagger. You get a dagger?
Get to keep your wings.
Didn't get a horn, didn't get a dagger.
Didn't get a finger, a claw. No, do you know what I did? I got a clapperboard.
Did you really?
Yeah, I asked them for a clapperboard.
Oh, nice.
And I got one in my office.
Oh, lovely.
I should have asked for a dagger.
Next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.